Well, hey there, folks. It's me. It's Bubba-T coming at you. Look here, straight out of the Nothing Fancy studio. I'm glad you've joined me tonight. I'm excited that you decided to come on. I can't thank you enough for all the support that's been happening, and I just really appreciate it. And tonight's topic, we're going to talk about some evildoers in our country and why they're evildoers. So stay tuned. This is the Bubba-T Show. Let's go.
Well, shackle my hands and call me an outlaw. Well, I'm proud of my rebel ways. I've raised hell since I was born. I raised hell till I hit the grave. Mama whooped my ass there every day. Well, I was a hellion, so she'd say. Well, I don't guess too much has changed, 'cause I still ride that hellbound train.
All right. Thank you so much again for coming in here with me tonight here on Spotify and the Bubba T Show. What we're going to talk about tonight is some of the craziness that's happening in our country. And what I say craziness is because it's crazy. Straight up, just nuts going on out there. And evil would be the incorporating word that is happening. What is the true definition of evil? What is it? There's many different definitions of evil. It's the supernatural evil. It's just human nature evil. So many different things. Demonic evil. But what we're dealing with here in our country is just plain Jane human evil. People that set out for themselves, that cares about no one but themselves. And that's what a lot of our government is made up of right now. A lot of it. So many different people that's in office. Your Jasmine Crockett's, your Chuck Schumer's. They're all in there. And why I name them specifically is what's going on right now. The government is shut down right now, and our military is unable to be paid. SNAP benefits is unable to be processed. Social Security, so many different things that align with the government that is unable to be processed or happen right now because the government shut down. It's astounding. And why? What's the root cause of it? Well, the root cause that the Democrats don't want to really admit is the fact that they want free health care for illegal immigrants. That is the root cause, folks. And let me say that again for the people in the back. They want free health care for illegal immigrants. That's what they want. Why? What is the reason to that? Well, you got people like Maxine Waters dodging questions as usual, but her answer was, we just want health care for everyone. Everyone. Yeah. We need free health care for every one of our American citizens. That'd be a great start, Maxine. Health care for us. It'll be a great start. What do we need health care for illegal immigrants for? Look, I'm not so heartless to say that they don't need it. I'm not. But we are in a time now where we're trying to rebuild our country from the horrendous administration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's what we're trying to do, folks. Bring it all back up. President Trump, from day one, has been trying to get this country set in motion to be successful, wealthy, and good for the American people. And he is being blocked at every single turn. Not only by our government officials, our court justice systems, but our American people. And these people that are out here protesting no kings or whatever it is against President Trump, saying he's a Nazi, they don't even know what they're protesting about. Okay. They don't. You go to one of these rallies and talk to one face to face. What's your issue? He's a rapist. Wow. Jean Carroll. I'm not even going to say no more on that. Every single rape victim that I have seen or heard from or watched a documentary on, every single one of them can recount the day they were raped because it's a traumatic event. It's a traumatic event that they can remember to the letter most of the time. You know who can't? Jean Carroll. Can't even remember what day, can't remember where it was even at. She just said Donald Trump raped me. Maybe it did really happen. I'm not 100% sure. But it's Donald Trump that we're talking about. Billionaire, trillionaire, any woman he wants. There's no solid proof for this. But the reason that they're out there with a sign protesting is because of that case. No, nothing else. That's the only thing they can bring up. Well, then by all means, let's impeach him and give it to Kamala. See how well she does. And then you ask them that question. Where do you think we would be right now if Kamala Harris had won? But we'd be a lot better than we are right now. Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. So if Kamala Harris would have won, we'd probably be at war with Russia. Russia probably would have sent 2 or 3 nukes. Or whatever. Something. Donald Trump is bringing peace to the country. He's bringing peace to the to overseas. He's bringing peace to Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Israel. He's bringing peace, folks. It's right there. Proof is in the pudding. And just this weekend alone, they've interviewed Kamala Harris. They've interviewed Joaquin Jeffries, whatever his name is. And none of them can say Donald Trump's name and give him the recognition that he deserves on making this peace deal. None of them. None of them. That's their character, folks. That is the character of somebody that has no idea what they're doing. I'm sorry, they don't. Chuck Schumer, there's so many policies that Donald Trump put in place on his first term that 15 years before his first term, Chuck Schumer was all about. And it got voted down. All about it. And now that Donald Trump is doing it, he's against it. Why? He was just for it. That's their character, folks. They're in it for their own personal gain. These Democrats that are in office, and I'm not saying it's just the Democrat Party, the Democrat as a whole. It's the people that's in the party that's running it right now, that's controlling everything. Jasmine Crockett, complete idiot. Complete idiot. Jasmine Crockett has no idea what the real world is happening right now. She's trying her damnedest to keep racism alive. Trying her damnedest. And most of the American people out here are starting to wake up and realize maybe it's just not that simple. Maybe if we just love one another and respect one another, we might have a great country. But no, you got people like Jasmine Crockett out here preaching hate, inciting violence, whether she wants to admit it or not. You coming on national television talking about how this group of people right here is Nazis. You need to take up arms and get your weapons and get ready. That's inciting violence. And then the moment Charlie Kirk was killed, a day after, she gets on there. I don't know why you would think I had anything to do with it. No, you didn't have anything to do with it. Not physically. But these ramblings, these radical speeches that you're doing, there's a lot of people out there that don't get it. There's a lot of people out there that only watch snippets of things. That's not even really paying attention to the real problems. They only pay attention to certain things. So when they get on national television like that and they start inciting violence, and that's the only thing that they see and the only thing that clicks in their mind, and their mind is telling them, we got to kill this guy because he's a Nazi. Jasmine Crockett said so. Maxine Waters said so. Chuck Schumer said it. So we need to get rid of this person. We don't need another Hitler. That's the kind of things that's going on. And if you don't believe that or realize that that's happening, then you're a part of that problem. It's time we step back. Really assess situations. Don't go off CNN, MSNBC, The View. For the love of God, please do not go off The View. Them women are absolute idiots. Why they even still have a TV show is beyond me. The things that they talk about. They incite violence without even realizing they are, just like the rest of them. And they're sitting on their panel making billions or millions of dollars a year, trying to tell us middle class how to live and what policies that we need. You're not even in the same bracket. Stop. Stop even commenting on it. You're mad because somebody ran for president that gives a damn about the American people in America. That's why they're all mad. They can't do nothing under the table anymore because you have a president that don't want that to happen. He's wanting to put America first. Look at what Doge found. Just 2 or 3 of the items that they found. Plain and simple. Plain and simple that they have been racking in money from us, the taxpayers, on ridiculous things that they can't even find a trail on. They're doing nothing but fattening their pockets. There's a lot of governors and senators and elected officials that live a lot better than what they make. Why is that? It's the proof is in the pudding. Sorry about that rant. But another topic of the night for evil and government. I don't know if anybody has kept up with Tucker Carlson, but he has just released a miniseries. It's the 9/11 Files, Tucker Carlson. If you really want to get pissed off at the government, watch that miniseries. I mean, we all kind of knew. We all kind of had different conspiracy theories in our minds when we would watch documentaries on 9/11, even from the time it happened, from the moment it happened till now, just in all the years. You always felt like something just wasn't right. We wasn't being told everything. There were so many things that were just hidden from us in different ways throughout the years. And me as a high school student, that's when it happened. It was 2001. I was a freshman in high school. I was in math class with Miss Curlin, and she had gotten a phone call on her school phone, and she said, "Sorry, kids, I got to turn the TV on." She turned the TV on, and one of the towers were hit at this moment, and we're all looking at this TV like, "Whoa, that building's on fire." But in that time, high school kids was not gung ho with politics like they are today. So all of us kind of looked at each other and we're like, that's interesting. And, Miss Curlin's just standing over there with her hand over her mouth, looking at the TV, in shock that there's so many people that's being hurt and killed at this very moment and not understanding of what's really going on. They just know a plane accidentally hit the World Trade Center. Well, hey there, folks. It's me. It's Bubba-T coming at you. Look here. Are you a parent that's finally got a child in a sports team? You finally got the team name and you finally got the number and you're wanting a t-shirt to wear at all the games to embarrass them? Or maybe you got a family reunion coming up. You want to make a shirt for the entire family to have whenever you're partying it up at the park. Or maybe you got somebody's retirement coming up and you want to make a big old banner to celebrate. Look here, I got the place for you. HD Graphics, 323 Car Street, Fulton, Kentucky, 42041. Look here, they'll hook you up on anything you want. Shirts, hats, they do license plates. They do big banners. They do yard signs. Anything custom graphic that you want, you can get done there. Look here, give them a call at 731-446-0192. And again, they do screen printing, embroidery, vinyl decals, banners, flyers, business cards, license plates, sublimation. They do it all, folks. Give them a call so they can hook you up. They are the official merch maker of the Bubba T Show. We got hats. We got shirts. They do it all, folks. And they are the official sponsor of the Bubba-T Show. So give them a call today. Daniel Thomas, the Showtime will hook you up. I love you to death. Check them out. Miss Carolyn was sitting there with her hand over her mouth, watching this on the TV. You know, we didn't really know what was going on other than a plane accidentally hit the building. So we watched it for the rest of the class, and the bell rang. I got up to go to my next class, which was Mr. Black at the time. It was agriculture. We walk in, he's got it on his TV. It's going. And bam, second plane hit. And we're all looking at this like, what is going on right now? As kids, we just knew this was a tragedy. Didn't realize we were under attack. Didn't really realize anything. So at the end of the day, towers had failed. All the lives were lost. They were searching for missing crew. And, you know, it was just a traumatic day. I get home to my parents and, you know, of course they're watching it. We watched it for the rest of the night. And then you had heard that President Bush was at a elementary school talking to some kids, and Secretary of Defense come in, whispered in his ear, Twin Towers just been hit, blah, blah. He looked and did nothing. Just sit there. I thought that was kind of sketchy, but I realize it now. Why he did that, didn't want panic. I get it. Really wasn't much he could do right then, I guess. But that's not really the point. So the point is it's been all these years now, over 20 years. And Tucker Carlson puts out this documentary. And I'm going to show you a clip from this. Because I think I think each and every one of you needs to watch this. If you haven't yet. It's very, very interesting. Take a look at this.
So how far-fetched was it that al-Qaeda might hijack airplanes and fly them into buildings? Not very far-fetched, it turns out.
These 22 individuals do not account for all the terrorist activity in the world.
It was remarkable, especially after the man had declared war on us.
Whenever there was a chance to kill Osama bin Laden, the administration chose not to do it.
Just because I was the chief of operations didn't mean there wasn't somebody else working on the same issue in an opposite direction.
So what do you think about that, folks? There were so many different opportunities for the administration to take out Osama bin Laden before the fact. And when you really watch this miniseries, it really dives deep into where this began. This began with Bill Clinton. Yeah, this began with Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton had several, like more than I can count, times to eliminate Osama bin Laden before 99. Didn't take it. Something always came up. and the mission was canceled or got passed by. Something happened to cause it not to happen. Why? What's the real reason? And Tucker will tell you, there's not a good reason as to why. And then Bush takes office. And in the transition, the statement was made, the highest threat to the United States of America is Al-Qaeda. Plain boldly in letters. Right there on his report. The biggest threat to the United States of America is Al-Qaeda. That's what it says. They pretty much ignored it. Now, with that being said, there is a lot more to this. And I'm going to play you another clip. This one's kind of lengthy, but it's worth it. Check this out.
You can't tell me, as someone who lived through that, who's paid for this government my entire life, whose birthright ownership in this government is, I was born here, this is my government, I'm an owner of this government. You can't look at me and say, you don't have a right to know. F you. Yes, I do. And I think if you had a couple 100 million people making that case and saying, you know, like, I want to know now. To me, 9/11 happened like yesterday. It was 24 years ago. But you know, I knew someone on one of the planes. I immediately went to the Middle East after 9/11, completely changed my life, changed the country. So the idea that, you know, you'd want to reassess that 24 years on, I didn't really have that much interest in reassessing it. I was kind of happy with the conclusions that I had. These 19 random Muslims attacked America because they hated our freedoms. And we just wound up with the TSA and the Patriot Act, but those are basically well-intentioned. And that was most people's conclusion after 9/11, and I didn't have a ton of interest, again, in reaching other conclusions because it's just too dark. But we had a conversation with former Congressman Kurt Weldon in Pennsylvania, who also reached very conventional conclusions about 9/11 until he started pressing as a member of Congress and got all kinds of questions that couldn't be answered, really obvious questions. Like, where's the wreckage to Flight 93 in Shanksville? Why is there so little wreckage? Like, what? Why do people see other aircraft in the sky next to it? Like, what is that? And for his effort, he lost his congressional seat. The Bush administration came out against him, and he lost his seat. And they took his daughter into custody, never charged him with a crime, but they staged an FBI raid on his daughter's house, made sure it was in every paper in the congressional district. He lost, wrecked his life, wrecked his daughter's life, but he didn't stop asking questions. And so at the time I spoke to him, he was thoroughly convinced on the basis of a lot of evidence that the story that the rest of us heard about 9/11 was a complete lie. And so he successfully convinced me that we needed to look into it. So we spent many months on this documentary, and I was worried that it was going to make me more radical than I want to be, and I had every reason to worry, actually, because it did. There are indisputable facts in that documentary that shocked me. So the majority of the 19 hijackers got their visas to the United States. They were Saudi citizens, got them in Saudi Arabia. Guess who the CIA station chief in Riyadh was when they got those visas? Mr. John Brennan, future director of the CIA. That was the first step in a long chain that connects the CIA and
that's something that baffled me, folks. John Brennan approved the visas for these hijackers.
the NSA to those hijackers. They clearly abetted their arrival in the United States. They helped them. They surveilled them. Foreign intel agencies clearly did too. It's very obvious looking at the facts that there were foreign countries that had foreknowledge of 9/11. Just really no question about that at this point. We've been discouraged from even noting that, but it's true. But certainly our intel agencies were in contact indirectly with the hijackers. What is that? Well, of course, we never got a straight answer to it at all. And then what exactly happened on September 11th? Well, I can't answer that question conclusively, but I learned a couple of things that stunned me. One was we don't have a clear picture of what the structural collapse of those three buildings looked like because the material, the steel from the building, was removed immediately within hours. It was a process that extended through days, of course, weeks. But that process began within hours of the collapse of the buildings. That steel was shipped out of New York, in many cases offshore to Asia, before it could be evaluated by structural engineers in the United States. What would be the purpose of that? This is a crime scene in which thousands of people died, and you immediately ship the evidence to China?
Come on, folks. There it is right there. Evidence. The structural steel of the World Trade Centers was shipped off within hours of the collapse. Fishy.
Tell me why. Why did you do that? And because they did that, the Bush administration did that, and authorities in New York did that, there have been lingering questions that still don't have satisfactory answers about how those buildings fell in the way they did. Uniquely in the history of building fires, those three buildings collapsed in on themselves on videotape, so we know, including a building, Building 7, that was not even touched by a commercial airliner. It never got hit by a plane, and yet it collapsed that afternoon. So people have been asking these questions for 24 years, and to my great discredit and shame, I mocked them for asking those questions, but of course I was ignorant, and I didn't want to know what the truth was. But the more you look into it, the more disturbing it becomes. For example, it is true. It is not a conspiracy theory that an analysis of the dust from Building 7, from the collapse of Building 7, World Trade Center 7, the one that was not hit by a plane, shows that in that dust are bits of explosive. What? This is a building that, again, I don't have videotape of people, putting TNT around the structure of the building. Can't say there was a controlled demolition. No one has admitted participating in it, but it is true that an analysis, a chemical analysis of the dust from that building found explosives. And no one has bothered to explain how that could be. At very least.
I'm telling you, folks, this is a good watch. This is the first documentary that we have gotten on 9/11 that really gets into the essence of it, that really starts asking the questions. Tucker Carlson is asking the questions and getting those political juices going, trying to figure out the real truth. Because that's what he looked like to me. Even back then, when I was a kid and I seen him fall, I was like, did that explode? Even as a kid, it looked that obvious. You've all seen it. You've all watched the video and seen them collapse upon themselves in their own footprint. It looks as if it's exploding all the way down. Hey, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but that's just what it looks like to me. Because my theory on this whole situation is warmongers was fiending for war with Iraq. That's just my theory. And, we beg to ask the question, where did evil start in the United States of America? Where did it blindside us at? I believe that was the beginning of real corruption in the U.S. government. John Brennan is a snake. A snake. A bad one. An evil one. Watching this documentary, you will understand why. with all the different things he did throughout the Osama bin Laden process. And then the next very big question that I have asked since the day it was done. Barack Obama comes on national television, big smile on his face, excited. We got him. We got him. We killed Osama bin Laden. I did it. My administration did it. We didn't see no body. We seen something get dropped into the ocean. This man is responsible for 9/11. 3,000 something people dead. Families with no closure on why, how, and who done this. No closure. And you take this man, the man's body, don't show nobody, wrap it up, dump it in the ocean. We got him. Don't worry about it. We got him. Hey, we got him. No, we got it. Really? Because me, if it was me, and I got Osama bin Laden, the man that destroyed so many lives, so many American lives, and we brought him back after killing him, I would make damn sure the victims, any other family members of the victims of 9/11 got to see this man dead. See him dead before I dropped his ass in the ocean. Hell, I'd have nationally televised it. His body. Dead. We finally got him. He's dead. Why didn't they do that? I don't think they got him. I think he is still out there. Today, I don't know. Maybe he died of old age. I think Barack Obama needed votes, folks. I think he needed an accomplishment for his presidency. He needed that to justify him in office. And he used this to get it. It just really baffles me. If you're excited, so excited for killing the most wanted man, and don't show him for the public to see him dead, you don't show it. I can't get on board with it. I haven't been able to since the day they announced him being dropped in the ocean. I watched that news conference when he come out and he announced that they got him. And I'm thinking, yes, finally, let's see this son of a bitch. Let's see him. I want to look him in his dead face. I want to see him dead. And then nothing. Just a lot of disappointed folks. I can't even imagine the family members of the victims. That's what you got to go on? We got him. We got him. No. Of course they're not going to get on board with that. Some may have, but I doubt it. But hey, what can we do? What can we do now? Other than go over there and look for ourselves, swim down to the bottom of the ocean, grab his body. If I was President Trump, I mean, what can you really do? You don't know where he was dumped at. That'd be a wild goose chase for real. But man, I'd want to. As a president of the United States, I'd want to search that ocean high and dry. But I know that's a ridiculous thing to think of. The deed is done. If Obama took the credit, I just can't get on board with it. I just can't. But hey, that's what we got to live with, right? Got to live with it and hope that Obama's an honest man that told the truth. They really got him. They really killed him. Because even the soldier himself was really wishy-washy when he was telling the story. Like, I didn't believe him. Kind of wishy-washy. Like, listening to him tell the story, I still was not convinced that they killed Osama bin Laden. Call me crazy. I don't care. But for the life of me, I just can't think of why they wouldn't show it. It's baffling. But yes, I think that's when the real essence of evil really got into our government, and it just went downhill from there. Went downhill from there. Went into Obama. And then Joe Biden was the icing on the cake. Really opened up the wokeness. Really stripped God from our country in ways that we didn't even know were imaginable. We got so many people out here not knowing what gender they are. It's very simple, folks. It's female and it's male. I can't get on board with anything else. I just can't. We live in a country that was based on godly, heavenly, Jesus and faith-based fundamentals. The founders of our great country built this country on Christianity, on God. And they stripped it. They were successful in stripping it for quite some time. So bad that Christians, that 4 years of Joe Biden, Christians just didn't know what to do, where to go, what to say. Because, I mean, you couldn't say anything. I mean, I witnessed a they in my own gas station here in Fulton, Kentucky, walked in, and, I mean, he looked straight up like a man with girls' clothes on. And the woman that was checking him out said, "Yes, sir." And he lost his mind. "I'm a man." "No, boo-boo, you're not." And it just got crazy for a while. Even gays and lesbians themselves were not on board with it. They want to be left alone. They want to live their life the way they want to live their life. And there's a lot of them out there that's like that. And this stuff come into the world, and they were trying to force it on everybody, and it made people crazy. Absolutely crazy. With these theys and thems and all this other stuff. It was just really in the wrong direction. And then President Trump got in office, and he's trying to clean it all up. That's what I'm trying to tell folks. President Trump inherited chaos. He inherited a chaos country. Chaos in inflation, chaos in fundamentals, chaos in policy. Of course he can't fix it overnight. Joe Biden let in bukus of illegal immigrants. Our country is riddled with drugs, riddled with gang leaders, sex traffickers. This is a dangerous country. At the beginning of 2025, I would think one of the most dangerous countries in the world. And what was bad about that is nobody accepted it. Nobody understood it. Nobody got it. So many people going missing. So many children going missing. Women. Throughout the country. And nobody was getting it. You got people talking to Charlie Kirk. Older people talking to Charlie Kirk, talking about how we're not in inflation. There's nothing wrong with our there's nothing wrong with our economy. Our economy's great. What? Where are you living? And there's just delusional people that listen to certain media outlets, to the legacy media. If you want to get good, true, just great news, you want to go to your podcasters. You want to go to your independent media outlets. That's where you get the truth now. You go on to CNN, MSNBC, they're taking little snippets of little interviews from certain politicians that does point to racism or fascism or whatever the case is. They take those little snippets, they put them on their newscast and say, hey, here's the proof. This is what they are. And then these people believe it because they said it. That little snippet. But none of them do the right research and click on the whole video and watch it from front to finish to realize why that little snippet was said. No, they just go straight to, well, he's racist. And then they go get a gun and try to kill somebody. That's the world we're living in. We're living in a world where I'm scared to death to send my daughter to school. I'm scared to death to let my daughter go out into the world when she gets older. Because it's dangerous. I'm scared to death to even drive through Memphis in a certain part of town. President Trump's trying to clean this up. Chicago, Memphis. He's cleaned up Washington. That's something we never thought could happen. But he did it. Let the man do his job. Let the man be our leader and bring our country back to normal. And more. He's trying to make this country wealthy again. He's trying to make it to where we are able to live the American dream life. And these people are out here just brainwashed. Come on, folks. Let's get with the program here. The proof is in the pudding. And it started with 9/11. It probably did before that, but watch that documentary. You'll see what I'm talking about. Tucker Carlson, 9/11 files. I mean, the politicians we have today on the Democratic side are delusional. Nancy Pelosi, Jasmine Crockett. They want racism to be alive. They want everybody divided. I really believe they're trying to push us into a civil war. I think that's where they're wanting us to head to. But we all got to be smart enough not to give in to that crap. We don't need to hate each other. We need to get back to our faith. Love one another. Black, white, yellow, gay, lesbian. I know what the Bible says. But we cannot judge them. They will be judged. We can give them the word. We can give them the truth. But they do with it however they want. It's like anything. You give them the information, and what they do with that information is on them. But we don't have to disrespect folks. We can treat everybody with respect. Love one another. And just be good. We'd have a much better country that way. And if you don't have a church you like to go to, or you're questioning your faith, or you're wanting to get into faith, I highly recommend doing that. Find you a Bible teaching church, not this prosperity, not this crap that they just make stuff up. Because, somebody told me something a couple of weeks ago that really made me think a little bit. Whenever you see a church that's teaching false information, and you got a congregation that believes in that wholeheartedly and follows that, you feel bad that they're being taught wrong. They're in jeopardy of going to hell and not even knowing it. Not even knowing it. And you start to feel sorry for them, blah, blah, blah. But something was brought to my attention just a couple of weeks ago. You can't feel sorry for them, folks. Because if they were reading their Bible, they would know they're being taught wrong. That's a powerful statement. But what you can do is give them the word straight from the Bible, to let them know this is how it is. And again, give them the information. What they do with that information is on them. Through and through. So if I leave you with anything tonight, folks, or if you remember anything from this podcast, remember this. Love one another. Pray for your leaders. Pray for your country. Pray for your military. They need it. Pray for people that are sick. Talk to God. Get a relationship with God. Jesus can be your best friend, folks. He can be your absolute best friend. Think about it. He came out of nowhere and gained 12 disciples and befriended them, and he was their best friend and died for them, for us, sacrificed himself for us, for our sins, in the worst way, suffered the worst way possible for us. What can we do? We can love him, give our hearts to him, live for him, and we can live in heaven for eternity, be back with our loved ones. So I ask you folks, right now, can you 100% say that if you died right now, you'd be going to heaven? Can you answer that question? Yes or no? If you answered no, then I highly recommend you talk to someone. Find you a church. Find you a Bible teaching church. Find you a good pastor. If you want to talk to me, the Bubba-T-Show at gmail.com, email me. I'll email you right back. Check them every day. I don't mind talking to you. Because God is what we need, folks. He's going to get us through always, no matter what. Give your stress to God. Quit living for material things. Quit worshiping false idols. And worship what matters. God Almighty. Jesus Christ. And if you don't know him, if you don't have him in your heart, I suggest you do it. Ask him to be in your heart. Let him save your soul. And you'll know it. When he saves your soul, when you are reborn, saved, you will just live differently than what you were living before. Repent of your sins. Ask for forgiveness. And live a good life in the name of Jesus. Put God first in all things. I swear you'll thank me for it. It's a good path to be on. I love each and every one of you. And I can't thank all of you enough for getting on here with me tonight. And another thing I'd like to announce is I got the merch. We talked about this before, but I want to announce it. Merch. I got hats. I got my American flag hat, my American flag logo here. I got many different designs. This is a wonderful hat. It's got the American flag and black on the front. But I got many different Richardson hats, many different colors. Got this logo, got my American flag logo with the Bubba-T Show and white in the middle of it. Great, great hats. I'm fixing to have hoodies that has this logo on it, on the back, on the front, whatever you want it. I got the shirts. I'm going to have long sleeve as well. So if anybody would like any merch, the Bubba-T Show at gmail.com. The Bubba-T Show at gmail.com. Email me. And another thing, my local business owners, I haven't had any hits yet. What's up with you? What you waiting on? Call on Bubba-T so I can hook you up with a video advertisement and a voiceover advertisement. If you just want the advertisements, it's a one-time fee of $80. And I'll come out to your site and make your advertisement. But for $60 a month, you'll get both of those, video advertisement, voiceover advertisement, and they will run on the Bubba-T Show every week. And any content that I put out, I'll have something of yours in the background advertising your business for $60 a month. As long as you make that the subscription, it'll go on all my content. But you'll get both advertisements to do with whatever you want to. Send it to radio stations, send it to TV stations. Whatever you want, put it on your social medias, put it on your friends' social medias. Whatever you want to do with it, folks, it's yours to keep. So holla at me, the Bubba-T-Show at gmail.com, and I'll get you hooked up with it. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have another one next week. I hope to have a guest next week so we can really dive in deep into this country and our surrounding area. I got some big things coming for our surrounding area. As a matter of fact, we got some scandals happening over here. We got some tax crap happening over here. We're going to be talking about next week. So be looking out for it. And I love you to death. And I'll see you soon.
She'd say, well, I don't guess too much has changed, 'cause I still ride that